Hey guys, excuse the quality of this video. I've been grossly overwhelmed today, and I have no idea how this video is going to turn out. I'm hoping it turns out well. Some of the stuff that I was working on, I've kind of relieved myself of it today, and I'm really going to try to focus on this video specifically. So Tuesday, Sister Danger brought up the question of justice, and I had a lot to say on this, and almost every video I did turned into like a rambling, I don't even know what to call it. It was just rambling and bad. It was bad. And like I said, when I did get a video I wanted to upload, it was gone off the SD card. So I'm going to try to do this again, and this is Breakfast Club Wednesdays. Sister Danger asked the question, what is justice? And I'm going to at least tell you my ideas and versions of what I feel is just and what justice is. So Breakfast Club Wednesdays.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Alright guys, so what is justice? And my original thing was I was going to go through this definition of justice, but I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to start with one word that I found in the synonyms that stood out to me, and that is equity. And I'm not talking about equity in like the social justice warrior mentality or anything crazy like that. I'm talking about just equity. And I guess the best way of putting that, and Sister Danger put it there, the eye for an eye, however you want to put it, to me that is justice. You know, if we want to talk about actual justice. The problem with that mentality is it's very black and white, and you really can't do it for everything, because, well, there's three things that I see, and I see law, justice, and revenge, and those things are not in any way, shape, or form the same, even though sometimes they, they intersect, but they're not the sing. Law is basically just your rules and regulations of society, how we need to work together or do things together to get things done as a society, just to keep some kind of cohesion here. And the thing about that is the laws are not always particularly just. It's not particularly that, okay, we made these laws to enforce justice. The laws are just there, again, to keep a cohesive society and to say, this is what we as a society agree to, are the laws that we will do X, Y, Z by. And there's an idea of justice there. And then of course you get justice itself, which we're going to talk about, and revenge. Revenge is just, you did something bad to me and now I want to do something bad to you. So I guess we can get into this. She gave two examples. I'm going to talk about the easier example first. And that is the example of someone stealing a candy bar and having their hand cut off as punishment for stealing that candy bar. So, there's nothing else in there. Someone having their hand cut off and because they stole a candy bar. Is that justice? No, that's not justice. Equity, in my mind, is what is equitable. The person stole the candy bar. Well, did they steal it and eat it? Well, if they didn't steal it and eat it, the thing that's equitable is you put that candy bar back on the shelf, you spank the kid and say, get the hell out of my store. did the person steal the candy bar and eat it? Okay, maybe they did. So what's equitable? Well, you make the person pay for the candy bar. What would be, how would you do that? Maybe they're poor. Maybe they can't pay for the candy bar. So maybe you give them a job working it off. Okay, I mean, what would it take to work off a $1.50? Okay, what's that, like about a half an hour's work or something, depending on the grocery store or whatever. So, I don't know, when something like that I personally would consider small, it's kind of easy to kind of go, okay, well, what's equitable, what makes sense? There are people who could actually go to jail for some time for something small. Most people wouldn't. They would get some form of probation or something like that, which I would also see as equitable. Okay, you don't shoplift from stores anymore, and that's it. And then your record gets expunged or whatever. That's perfect for me. I don't see any problem with that at all. Something like someone going to jail for that, or having something horrible happen to them for that, obviously is overkill and unnecessary. And of course, if everybody stole candy bars or something from stores, the store will go out of business. So it is a problem, but on a case-by-case basis, what is just in dealing with people who do that, that's just how I see it. Like there's this, and I guess that's what the issue is with justice, is you can't just say, we have laws to kind of say, we're just going to say this is what it is to kind of fix this situation. Justice says, okay, on a case-by-case basis, what is fair based on what happened in this case and what is equitable. Okay, so now we're going to get into the Brock Turner thing, and that's where I always mess everything up, and the video ends up being 20 or 30 minutes long. So I'm going to try to make this concise, okay? And I'm going to start with this point. We like karmic justice. Got Brock Turner, he served 3 months for rape. We all know that was not that's not a good time to serve for rape. You should serve, at least a few years for rape, okay? Personally, if you rape somebody, you get a few good years. If you murder somebody, I'm fine with you staying in there for a good 25 to life. I'm okay with that, okay? And if you get 25 to life, I don't want to see you out in like 5 or 10. I want you doing your whole 25 at least, because you're a murderer. And I'm not talking about somebody who accidentally killed somebody or something. I'm talking about a straight up murderer. You're in jail for murder, So, but let's get back to Brock Turner. If we learned that within Brock Turner's 3 months in prison, let's just say we learned he dropped the soap a few times. If we learned that this happened to Brock Turner, would we not feel a little bit better about the 3 months he did in prison? Think about this for a second. Do you think that you would almost see a lot of the hatred for Brock Turner? You would actually see it dissipate. You would be like, oh, okay, well, he there was justice done, and since justice was done, we can go on about our business. We make value judgments on people, and that has a lot to do. With our feelings about justice. And you're hearing a lot about Chicago right now. All the violence that's happening in Chicago, and no, Chicago is not some kind of Wild West town. The places that there's violence, a lot of those places, there's always been violence. And then you have the sporadic violence that happens every once in a while. That's always happened every once in a while. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the places now, and this is just my opinion, it seems that a lot more innocent people are being hurt. When it was people, like when gangbangers were killing other gangbangers, it was like, it's not such a big deal. And that wasn't such a big deal because those people were gangbangers, and our value judgment on gangbangers is, well, they're gangbangers. So if they kill each other, well, that's better for us. That's less people out there that might kill us. That's the societal judgment on gangbangers. But if you start killing students, you start killing kids in school, you start killing college kids, then we start looking at you and saying, wait a minute, now you're going too far because you're killing the people we see as valuable. Even in Brock Turner's case, the reason he got a pass was because he's one of those people that society sees as valuable. But now that we see he's actually a rapist, he's down there on the level with the gangbangers and people that we don't value as much. Because again, this was a textbook rape. This was not like some he said, she said, or something we question. This is literally textbook. Somebody grabbed somebody that they thought were vulnerable, pulled them into an alley and said, I'm going to rape this person. And, it's like, wow, okay? And again, keep in mind, rapists don't just decide one day, I think I'm gonna put up, chill out on the rape thing. Your average rapist, if they think they can get away with rape, they're not gonna rape less, they're gonna rape more. The average home invader, do you know what stops home invaders? Not deterrence. I don't believe in deterrence. Because justice, law, it says all these things are deterrents, but they're not. You know what criminals tell you a deterrent is? Breaking into a home and that person having a weapon. Because criminals are like anybody else. They fear death. They don't want to be killed, just like a lot of other people don't want to be killed. So they fear death. They're not afraid of going to jail because you get caught doing a home invasion. Most of the times, you're going to be thrown in a car and taken to prison. They're not scared of that. But they are scared of somebody popping out and blowing them away. Because legally, and you can check this out, it may be different in your state, but in many states, it's actually better off legally for the person to kill someone breaking in their home. You probably didn't know that, but that legally is the truth. Because if the case actually goes to court, it's your word and the evidence versus your word, the evidence, and someone else's word. Because there are criminals in cases where criminals have sued people for excessive force after they've broken into their home. And as crazy as that may sound, yes, you can actually have excessive force in stopping someone from breaking into your home. It's like I said before, justice dictates what is equitable, not what is vengeant. We didn't even get into revenge yet, but not what is revenge or like teaching them a lesson, but what is equitable. So if someone breaks into your home, what is equitable is that once you pull that gun on them or you pull that weapon on them, when they turn and run, you don't shoot them in the back because they haven't taken anything. They're turning and running. So again, that is equitable. That's what's just. Then we get into the final thing, which is going to be revenge, which I can't believe I covered that Brock Turner thing in as short as time as I've turned. That's the record for the Brock Turner thing. But we get into revenge, which is rarely just. Revenge is, you did this to me and I'm going to do something back to you. There's all kinds of examples we can have of things that people do to one another and then they want to get revenge. But revenge is typically not just, and it's typically not equitable. Revenge is simply what it is, revenge. It's this anger that something was done to you and you want to do something back. But a lot of people, even after they get revenge, now there's a lot of people who can get revenge and they're fine with it. They're like, you did this, I got revenge, it's over. But there's a lot of people, I would almost say the majority of people, when they get revenge, they feel worse. Because the whole reason they wanted revenge was something bad was done to them, and now they're doing something bad to get back at the other person. And that's why I think we, as a society, and I know this doesn't mean everybody, I'm just saying society in general, I think we prefer like this kind of idea of karmic justice, because rarely do we get And to a certain extent, that's why you have such a rise in social justice warriors and things like this, that we all like this idea of justice being served. But I don't think we all know what is equitable. We prefer what we feel is equitable, but sometimes that's not what it is. A lot of times we just want blood. We just want revenge. We see someone did something wrong, and we want them to have something done to them because they did something wrong. So I don't know if this is probably going to be my worst Breakfast Club video ever. So feel free to tell me how this video sucked in the comments. But yeah, because I don't think there's really anything I could do with this video where I don't come off sounding like an asshole if I'm actually honest in this video. That's it, guys. Nathyn Brandon Masters, you take it easy and awesome.
For my love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar